Hey, real quick question for you guys out there watching this video. I just was kind of curious about something. Just wanted to gauge my audience a little bit, the subscribers, everybody watching. How many of you guys have heard of or familiar with, or might even be fans of a little JRPG crime drama series you may or may not heard of before, known as Yakuza, or better yet, Like a Dragon? You familiar with that one? Yeah, I know you heard of that one before. And what if I told you that me? Yes, I, your boy, Lotus Asakura, the one who never knows best, Flower Boy incarnate himself, was cordially invited by the great folks over at SEGA to a private event in California where I was able to play Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii early. I know. It's cool, ain't it? And frankly, I was very honored by this opportunity because this is an invitation the likes of which I've never really been extended before. Like, I've had my fair share of, like, you know, free games from companies, or like a couple times I got to play a game early, but nothing like this ever before. And it was really, really cool. They took great care of me. The event was dope. The game was really fun, and I had a great time, and I wanted to share that great time with you guys and talk about my experience here in today's video. So, as the title of the game would suggest, as you might have been able to infer by now if you weren't already aware, you're playing as a Yakuza who's also a pirate in Hawaii. And I know that sounds pretty self-explanatory, but this game is as silly as it could possibly get in all the best ways. But don't get it twisted. Like, it's still the combat and the action is still pretty serious, and it's pretty dope. And this game, I believe, takes place about 6 months after the events of Infinite Wealth. However, as opposed to playing as Ichiban, in this game you're actually playing as Majima, who somehow has washed up on shore on an island and has become a pirate. And with any great pirate comes a crew and a ship that you can actually control and customize, and a slew of many other things, and also multiple fighting styles, which is probably the thing I found the most interesting about this game. Without spoiling the game too much and getting into too many of the details, the story of Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii goes something like this. As I've already said, we follow the story of Majima, who is washed up on a random shore in Hawaii on Rich Island. He's eventually discovered by a boy named Noah, and it turns out that Majima actually has amnesia, and he's lost all his memories. This, however, does not stop him whatsoever from becoming the captain of a pirate crew and then sailing around on a journey to not only recover his lost memories, but of course fight plenty of other pirates around Hawaii and other ex-Yakuza members as well. I was fortunate enough to try out several different aspects of the game, including the main campaign, obviously the combat, mini games, the Pirate Coliseum, and more, so let's dive in. Okay, so from this point on in the video, all the gameplay that you're seeing was actually captured by myself at the private event. And again, huge shout out to SEGA for this, because I greatly appreciate it and I had such a good time. But I think the thing I'm the most excited to show you guys and talk about is the combat for the game, because the gameplay in Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, that's a hell of a title, by the way. From now on, we're just gonna say Pirate Yakuza, okay? Cool? All right, dope. The combat in Pirate Yakuza is actually super dope and some of the best I think I've ever seen in a Yakuza game. And it separates itself by having a lot of aerial combat, which is something I don't think I've seen before in any of the other Yakuza or Like a Dragon titles, where you have these actual like jumping attacks and straight up aerial combos that make me feel like I'm straight up just playing a fighting game. I think it's super, super cool and a lot of fun. And beyond that, Majima himself actually has multiple fighting styles that you can actively and fluidly switch between while you're fighting enemies. So he has his gangster style, which is something that you're probably more accustomed to from previous Yakuza titles, where he's just doing his generic punches and kicks and he has his little blade. But then you also have the pirate style, where he has even more tools and weapons to choose from. You can probably get even more creative with the combos and the way you play the game, because he's got like his dual wielding cutlasses, he's got his pistol, he's got a grappling hook, and of course with all the new aerial options that you have as well, I could see how it could get really cool. Because even with my limited time and knowledge with the game, you know what I mean, I was having a blast and I was figuring out more and more, and I wish I would have had even more time to play the game and really explore the depth of what you could come up with when it comes to combos in this game, because I know people are going to be pulling off some really, really crazy stuff with these systems. I believe the official names for these fighting styles were actually Mad Dog, which is the more gangster and familiar fighting style, and then you have the Sea Dog, which is the pirate style, as I mentioned, with the cutlasses and the pistol and the grappling hooks and all of that galore. You've also got these super dope heat actions, where if you hit the prompt that shows up on the screen, essentially a little mini quick time event, you pull off a really cinematic, super cool fighting move. I really liked the Sea Dog one that Majima has. But then you also have these summons that they refer to as dark gods, okay? And what these dark gods essentially are is, well, you know what? Maybe it's better if I show you rather than tell you. Yeah, so basically these dark gods are different animals that you can summon in the midst of combat that will aid you in various ways. It's a little silly, but also very cool and also very Yakuza, so I honestly wasn't surprised at all to see something like this in the game, especially this game of all games. However, that's just for the Sea Dog style. When you're using the Mad Dog style, instead of these summons, you actually have access to clones that Majima can make of himself, which honestly is equally as cool, if not cooler to me. I was a fan of this one quite a lot. I don't think I got a lot of footage of myself using it, but I thought it was a pretty dope feature. And honestly, I should have used more of it, but I was so infatuated with so much going on in the game. There was like so many things I wanted to try to learn and figure out and try, and I just, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like a kid at a candy store playing this game. So there's a lot of things that I wanted to get to that I didn't, things that I should have tried that I didn't, you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to the release of this game and seeing what myself and others pull off in this gameplay. Speaking of not sinking my teeth as deeply as I would have liked into certain aspects of the game, one thing that this game does really well is customization. And if y'all know anything about me, you know that I'm a big fan of customization in video games. I love creating my own character, or if not creating a character, then making my character look unique or as cool as I possibly can, whether it's changing their hairstyle, their outfit, their accessories, the colors of their clothes, what shoes they have on, what weapons they're using, and everything of that sort. And in Pirate Yakuza, you actually have access to a plethora of options, most of which I did not even get to see yet, but you can customize Majima's outfit, his hairstyle, the rings and everything that he's using. And also you have not only cosmetic changes, but changes that also increase like your attack power and your health and things of that nature. So you get the best of both worlds. Cause I know I'm definitely one of those people who in games, I hate when I have to equip an item that doesn't look cool, but I really want the benefits of that item. Well, in this game, you have both, where you can equip cosmetic stuff as well as stuff that has a utility to it. I think I only ended up getting footage of me going through like Pirate Majima stuff, but you know, you still have Yakuza Majima as well, who has his own options and customization that you can go through as well, and you just unlock more and more as you continue to progress through the game. And then of course, naturally, the customization extends beyond just what you can do to your physical appearance, but also what you can do in the ways of your health and your stats and everything like that, with like a skill tree and things that you're able to upgrade as you continue to accumulate more money and more points or whatever to, you know, strengthen your character, essentially, upgrade your abilities. To me, this is always one of the most addicting parts about RPGs. And it's to be expected, but I just figured I'd go ahead and mention it anyway, since we're on the topic of customization, as you can craft, you know, kind of your play style and your adventure to maxing yourself out uniquely to you. But yeah, man, the list goes on. And also, since you're a pirate, obviously being on a pirate ship is a big aspect of the game. You have ship combat and missions and things of that nature, but you can also customize your ship completely and entirely. Like you can customize the sails, the trimming, the colors and everything. So unfortunately, I was not able to dive into that part of it myself. So I did get to experience what the combat is like when you're on the ship, but customizing is something that I didn't get to do for myself. But I will be doing that in the future, and I'm sure you guys will as well. And honestly, man, this is all just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this game. I haven't even talked about like all the side quests and mini games and everything you can do, because you can do all sorts of stuff in this game, from like going to the arcade and playing crane games, which I got a lot of experience with, let's just say, on my recent vacation to Japan. I might have spent a lot more time and money than I originally intended on that particular hobby, but that's a story for another day. If you saw my haul video, you know YK type beat. But also even playing like Virtual Fighter. You can play Virtual Fighter in Yakuza, which I'm sure you guys are all aware. And also they have their own kart racer in the game known as Dragon Kart, which by the way, at the event, which I had an incredible time at, we go circle back around, but at the event, they hosted a Dragon Kart tournament where we raced to see who could get the best time, and it was one take. You only got one try. Had I known, like I would have been practicing or something in preparation, because bro, they gave away a whole trophy, like an Evo trophy for this little event. I was kind of tight because the trophy was mad dope. Shout out to the guy who won. I forgot his name, but his time was way beyond everybody else's, and it was his first time playing Dragon Kart and experiencing that game. And yeah, he was way faster than everybody else, so it's crazy to think. But yeah, man, I had an incredible time at the event. I actually got to spend my time out there with the homie Markman, who I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. If you're not, he works or has worked closely, with Bandai Namco and works with Evo and everything like that. A really cool dude. Shout out to him. And I also got to meet Rufumonger and Kaho while I was out there as well, two other great content creators. And we all had a blast, man. And then we even got to watch like a live show of like this pirate play. I don't want to call it a play exactly, but it was a little bit of a musical kind of thing, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it quite a lot while we had dinner. Is that the first time I've ever had dinner and a show? it might have been. I don't know. But yeah, no, a huge shout out again to SEGA for bringing me out there, man. Like I said, there's so much more that I haven't even touched on, like really diving into the Pirate Coliseum and Madlantis and the rest of Rich Island. And they even had a Majima cosplayer out there who was playing piano, and the food that they served was great. I ain't gonna lie. They had these chicken wings out there. Your boy might have had more than his fair share of them chicken wings. I ain't gonna cap, but you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm looking forward to the game, and hopefully you guys are as well. And again, I can't thank SEGA enough for inviting me out to this event. Hopefully this is the first of many, not only with them, but just with developers and publishers in general, because I'd love to participate in more things like this. So hey, if you want Lotus Sakura at your private event, try a game early, talk about it, make a review video, whatever the case may be, go ahead, slide that invite into my business email. You know what I'm saying? I'll get back to you when I get back to you. You feel me? I had an absolute blast playing the game, and I barely scratched the surface, so I know I'm gonna have even more fun when the full game releases and I get my hands on it. Anyway, that's gonna be all for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all the awesome content that I plan on bringing you. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. And remember, nothing can happen until you swing the bat. Later.